Hello and welcome to ITFC GTV, and today we'll be going through my championship predictions. Only 5 more days to go now. We're closing in towards the start of the season. Everyone's really excited for it. Who's going to get relegated? Who's going to get mid-table? Who's going to get playoffs? Who's going to end up making top two? Who's going to get promoted? We will see. So many hopes, so many dreams about how everyone will do in the championship. Yeah, I've looked at the odds and I've looked at some other championship predictions, but still anything can happen, of course. I'm quite confident with some of my championship predictions, others I'm not quite sure with. But without further ado, let's get on with it. Alright, in 24th position then, I think this is quite an obvious one. I think every single championship fan has made that prediction. Sheffield Wednesday to come bottom. I'm sorry, Sheffield Wednesday, but I definitely think you're coming bottom of the table. They're coming bottom of the table because they've got a lot of financial issues going on at their club. Their players are going to be leaving, even though they're still under contract because of not being paid on time. So a lot of their players are going to go because of that, and also their manager is going to be going as well, which is another big problem for Sheffield Wednesday, and because of that, they're going to be coming bottom of the league. Right, 23rd position then, I put in Oxford United. Yeah, they were decent last season for a team that have come up from League One. But unfortunately, the odds were saying that they were going to be likely to be getting relegated again. So unfortunately, Oxford going to have to prove them wrong again, which I don't think they'll do. I think they'll come 23rd. Right, in 22nd position then, I put in Charlton Athletic. Yeah, I'm sorry, Charlton. They had a good season in League One. They got promoted through playoffs. So staying up in the Championship will be the ambition for them, which I don't think they'll do. I think they'll just about get relegated. Right, 21st position then, I put in Hull City. They very nearly got relegated last season. And 2 seasons ago, I can remember them having Liam Delap, Jacob Greaves and Jayden Philogene, which were 3 really good players for them. And I definitely think they missed those 3 players, which was why they struggled last season. I think they'll struggle this season as well, but I think they'll just about survive again. Alright, in 20th position then, I put in Preston North End. They've been in the Championship for quite a lot of seasons now, but in the last 2 seasons, they've been in the bitter of relegation fights. But I think they'll just about survive though. I think they'll just about survive. 20th in the table I'm going for. In 19th position then, I put in Millwall. Yeah, another team that have been coming mid-table quite a lot. Of course, any team could be in the relegation battle in the Championship. There's like nearly half of the league battling for relegation. I think Millwall will be one of those, but I think they'll survive. Alright, 18th position then, I put in Stoke City. They've been coming bottom half of the table quite a lot of times. Been in the relegation fight a few times, but I don't think they should be in the relegation fight. I think they'll end up surviving in the end. Alright, 17th position then, I put in Derby County. Also a team that have come up from League One 2 seasons ago. They had a decent season last time in the Championship. And I think they'll survive this season. I think they'll come 17th. Alright, 16th position then, I put in Portsmouth. They smashed it in League One and got promoted 2 seasons ago. And they were very good in the Championship as well. Of course, they've got a very good manager, and I definitely think I can't see them in the relegation fights. I think they'll be bottom half of the table, but I think they'll survive. Right, in 15th position then, I put in Swansea City. Yeah, and they've also been a team that have not been in a relegation battle, but they haven't been in a promotion race for quite a while. But for the last 2 seasons, they finished bottom half of the table. I definitely think they slipped up a bit, and I think they'll come bottom half of the table this time round. Right, in 14th position then, I put in Watford. Yeah, I think Watford will just about finish bottom half of the table. I think they've stabilised their league position now. They've not been in the relegation fights, but also not battling for the playoffs. Yeah, I think they'll do the same this season. I think a 14th place finish for them. Alright, 13th position then, just about bottom half of the table, I put in Queen's Park Rangers. It's an interesting one, that. Queen's Park Rangers have been in the Championship for a long time now. They've been in the relegation fight 2 seasons ago. But I definitely think they shouldn't be in the relegation fight this season. I think they'll just about finish bottom half of the table. Yeah, I don't think they'll battle for playoffs, and I definitely don't think they'll be fighting for relegation. So I think they'll come 13th in the end. 12th position, well, this is a really interesting one. In 12th position, I put in Wrexham. Wrexham were in the National League 3 seasons ago, so it's absolutely crazy to think that they're in the Championship this season. It still absolutely bends my mind that they're in the Championship. It's a very interesting one, that's. Some people will be thinking that Wrexham will be battling for playoffs since they've had a very good 3 seasons. Whereas some people would think that this will be a step too far for them and they'll be in the relegation battle. But I think they'll finish mid-table. I think they'll finish 12th. I think they'll have a decent season in the Championship. Right, in 11th position then, I put in Blackburn Rovers. Yeah, I don't think they'll quite be battling for playoffs, but I don't think there'll be a team that'll be fighting for relegation. I think that'll be another mid-table team. I think they'll just about finish top half of the table though. I'm predicting 11th place finish for them, which is a decent season for them. They'll be slightly disappointed that they'll not be fighting for promotion, but I think I'll go with 11th place finish for them. Right, in 10th position then, I put in Bristol City. Yeah, and they've been a team that have been in the Championship for quite a long time. Although they made it into the playoffs last year, only to be beaten by Sheffield United. But I think they'll come top half of the table. I don't think they'll make playoffs. I definitely think there'll be other teams pushing for playoffs. I don't think Bristol City will be a part of that. I think come top half, but they won't finish playoffs. Right, ninth position then, and there we go, the Norwich Scum. I predicted Norwich City to come 9th in the table. And I'm sorry if you're a Norwich City fan watching this right now. Yeah, Norwich City, they've been a yo-yo club like 3 years ago. Norwich have been pushing for playoffs, but they've been coming mid-table quite a lot of times and made it to the playoffs back in 2023-24, the season when we got promoted. But apart from that, I definitely think Norwich are a Championship team now. I'm going to go with 9th place finish. Alright, in 8th position then, I put in Middlesbrough. Yeah, don't get me wrong, they have a very good team. They've got Finn Azaz, and they've also have Morgan Whittaker, which is a very good player. They used to be Plymouth Argyle. And I saw that they lost one of their midfielders, Hackney, who we tried to sign, which they shut down. Disappointed that we didn't sign them. Yeah, that's a good player that they've lost. But still though, I think they're a team that's capable of pushing for playoffs. I don't think they'll quite do it though. I think 8th place finish. Right, in 7th position then, I put in West Bromwich Albion. I think they might just about miss out on playoffs in the end. They do have a team that will be capable of making playoffs this season, but there's still a lot of other teams that are pushing for that as well. So I think they might just about miss out in the end. Right, in 6th position then, I put in Coventry City. Yeah, I think they might just about make playoffs. Came 5th last season, only to lose against Sunderland in the last minute. Yeah, Frank Lampard has done a really good job for Coventry as a manager. Used to be an England player. Yeah, towards the end of last season, they were really good under Frank Lampard, and I think they'll do the same this season. I think they'll make the playoff spots. Right, in 5th position then, I have put in Leicester City. Yeah, I'm sorry, Leicester. Leicester fans will be disappointed because they would want to be pushing for top 2 after they got relegated, but I saw that they were going to lose some of their key players. Of course, Jamie Vardy left, and also Patson Daka has also left. And I also saw that they might get a points deduction as well before the start of the season, which I think that's going to cost Leicester. I think they'll come 5th in the table in the end. Alright, in 4th position then, I put in Sheffield United. Yeah, I think they'll make playoffs again. They'll be looking to try and make top 2 after what happened last season, but I don't think they'll be as good as the likes of us and Southampton. Also, they might lose some of their players as well after they missed out on promotion, which is why I think they might not make top 2 this season. Of course, Sheffield United will want to push for top 2 this season, but I doubt it's going to happen. I think they'll finish 4th. Right, in 3rd position then, I put in Southampton. I think they'll come 3rd in the end, just about missing out on top 2. Yeah, Southampton had an awful season last time. I think they got 12 points in the Premier League last season, which is absolutely terrible. They've still got their manager, Jurek, who hasn't done too well with Southampton. But none of their key players is going to be leaving. So I think they've got a team that is still going to be really good in the Championship. I think they'll miss out on the top 2 though. I think a 3rd place finish for them. Alright, in 2nd position then, I put in Birmingham City. Yeah, what an exciting one. Lots of fans will be really excited to see how Birmingham City are going to do. I think they'll get automatic promotion. They absolutely smashed it in League One last season, 111 points in League One. They've got a team that's really good for the Championship. I really do think they'll be challenging us and Southampton for promotion this season. And yeah, of course, they're going to be going into the season with lots of momentum as well. They're so used to winning games now. And I definitely think they'll thrive in the Championship, especially at the start of the season. And I also saw that they were going to be signing a striker for £10 million, which is a lot to spend for a team that have just come up from League One. If they do some more transfer business, I can really see them getting promoted this season. Alright, in 1st position then, top of the table, our club Ipswich Town are predicted to come top of the table. Yep, I'm very confident that Ipswich Town will be going back to the Premier League. We've got lots of quality in there. We've got Sam Schmolix, Jack Clark, we've got Ogbene, Amari Hutchinson. So Brentford are looking to sign him. Hopefully we'll be able to keep Hutchinson. Apart from losing Delap and a lot of our midfielders, we've definitely got a team that are going to be very good in the Championship. Definitely think we have the Championship quality in there to be serious favourites to go back to the Premier League. Didn't do very well in the Premier League last season, but that's still no disgrace. Every team that gets promoted gets relegated from the Premier League. And I think we'll thrive in the Championship. Alright, that is my Championship predictions 2025-26. Hopefully I get some of them right. I could be completely right with these. I could be completely wrong with these. But we'll see. Everyone's excited to see how they'll do in the championship. Closing in now, we've only got 5 more days to go. Everyone's excited to see how they're going to do. The odds seem quite clear about how the championship is going to go, but still anything can happen. But I'm very confident that Ipswich will get promoted to the Premier League again. I'm very confident about Sheffield Wednesday. I definitely think that they're going to be coming bottom of the table. Still not quite sure about all the other ones, but let's see how it all plans out towards the end of the season. Anyway, see you for the next video. Next one I'm going to be doing is the opening game of the season against Birmingham. I'm really looking forward to it. Football is going to be back. I'm really excited for it. See you then.